All right, today I'm going to tell you something that nobody has the balls to tell you because there's a lot of people who are afraid to be honest with you. Now, why are people afraid to be honest with you and why are people lying to you? Well, it's because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So this video might hurt your feelings and it might not sound sexy and it may be a couple things that you don't want to hear but that you need to hear. But I promise you, if you watch this video and you bear with me and you apply what I'm going to tell you, it's going to completely change your life. So first and foremost, what makes the difference between people who are successful and stay on point with their goals and people who get distracted very easily and end up falling off track? The answer is discipline. Okay? Discipline is a form of focus, and discipline is a muscle that you can build, just like the muscles that we build in the gym. And it's very interesting because training in the gym becomes a very strong analogy for life. During the times where I take it soft in the gym, I take it soft in life, in business, in relationships, in everything. The way that you come at your body is the way that you come at life. Similarly, the way that you come at your business can be something that you channel into other areas of your life, such as your fitness, such as your relationships. But a lot of people struggle when they put all their motivation in one area of their life or all their discipline in one area of their life to maintain motivation and discipline in other areas of their life. And so what I would encourage you to do is start taking action to build discipline in other areas of your life by actually taking baby little steps. So I'm gonna share with you something that one of my mentors shared with me. Now, this mentor of mine, his name is Lynn. He's one of the people who is always the most honest with me. And I always perceived him as being a total dick, to be honest. But I still love him because everything he said after my initial ego reaction calmed down and I stopped feeling like he was being a dick turned out to be 100% true. And that's one of the reasons why I value him as a mentor, is he's probably one of the most honest people with me inside of my life. Now, people aren't lying to you because they're bad people or because of any fault on their part or yours. It's simply the nature of human interactions that some people just don't want to have a critical feedback relationship with you. And that's totally fine, especially if you're a man in power or a man who other people look up to. People don't want to challenge that because people want to maintain the status quo with you. And you could actually perceive that as a compliment because it means that they perceive you as high status. But before I go into a tangent with that, let's just dive into the fact that I don't know you, and that is why I'm being completely honest with you. Now, on the flip side, also the people who pay me, I'm very honest with them. But if you were just my buddy and you were to ask me a question, I probably wouldn't be super honest with you unless I saw sincerity in your eyes or you had paid me to give you honest feedback on something, because most people don't actually want honest feedback. They just want their ego to be stroked, okay? So let's take it back to the whole idea about discipline, okay? Because we're gonna go a little bit deep into something that we call the pain and the cost. Now, the pain and the cost are two powerful motivators when it comes to fitness. Let's use fitness as an example, but really you can apply the same thing to other areas of your life because, like I said, the way you come at fitness is the way you come at other areas of your life. So let's look at a classic example of, the stereotypical man who sacrifices his health for wealth and allows himself to get a gut, grow a belly, get out of shape, go through a lot of stress to make his career or business dreams a reality. I think it's commendable for a man or a woman, but in this particular case a man, to make a massive sacrifice in order to achieve his goals and dreams. However, we have to sit back for a second and evaluate the real consequences. If you've never considered the potential ramifications, this will be a huge game changer for you, but we need to consider the consequences and the ramifications of the path that we're currently on so that we don't end up making a grave mistake that we regret 10 to 20 years later. And that is, for this businessman, maybe that's you, maybe that's just the person in this theoretical example who's maybe put on 20, 30 or more pounds in his belly since starting a business, since starting a high pressure career. If he continues going the way he's going, where he's gaining weight every single year, he's getting more and more lethargic and tired every single year, his body's getting more stiff and sore every single year, he's feeling more and more burnt out, he's needing more and more coffee to perform, and while his knowledge is increasing, his wisdom is increasing, his capacity is decreasing, if we take this man and we project where will he be in 10 years if he doesn't change, where do you think he'll be? I'll give that a second to let it land. And I'll give you a second to truly consider, if that's you, where will you be 10, 20, maybe even 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now if you're still around then? Like I said, some of the content of this video may offend you, but I promise you that it is with your best interests in mind that I bring you into this place where we truly consider what's going to happen with your body. Okay, well, let's look at the numbers because we all love numbers, right? How many pounds of fat will you gain if you continue going the way you're going over the next 3 years, 6 years, 10 years? Okay, cool. Now, what is going to happen when you gain that much more fat? You've already experienced what gaining 20 to 30 pounds has gotten you. What is another 20 to 30 pounds going to do? Well, it's probably going to exponentially increase whatever symptoms you've experiencing, whether that's lethargy, tiredness, a lack of confidence, disgust when you look in the mirror, potentially even seeing disgust in your partner's eyes, or simply just feeling and projecting that feeling onto her or him for some of you. But for her, when she actually looks at you and you see that you are not the man that you used to be. You're not the man that she married. And here's the interesting thing is part of the disgust in her eyes is actually because you're out of integrity with yourself, more so than the actual physical body, although that's a component, but it's also the fact that you're not in integrity with yourself. You don't feel the confidence within yourself. You don't have the same energy that you had when you married her. You don't have the same energy that you had when you were in your prime. And you know this. You know this to be a fact because you see how it affects your performance inside of your business. And where do you think that your business will be 10 years from now if you continue to bring this burnt out, needs 5 cups of coffee a day by that point version of yourself, who isn't focused, who doesn't perform, whose staff members do not respect him because he's out of integrity with himself, whose family and kids do not respect him because he's out of integrity with himself. He tells himself he's going to get in shape every single year, but what does he do every single year? He drops the ball. We got 6 weeks left in 2020 at the time that I'm recording this video. And if 2020 has been a shit year for you because you use the quarantine as an excuse, you use your business as an excuse, you use your kids as an excuse, you use your wife as an excuse, you use yourself as an excuse, you use your old injuries as an excuse, you use your belly as an excuse, you use your coffee as an excuse, you use your fucking neighbor as an excuse, you used a lot of different excuses this year. And I am going to be fully brutally honest with you because nobody else is going to tell you this, but you need to stop fucking making excuses. Well, maybe you don't. If you're okay with the direction that you're going right now, then actually you don't need to stop making excuses. Keep making excuses if you're okay with the path that you're on right now, but be real with yourself about the destination. Because if you tell yourself that you're going to figure it out one day, yet the last few years have shown that that's not actually going to happen, well, then you're bullshitting yourself. And 10 years from now, you really know where you are going to be. So don't tell yourself that you're going to be in a different destination. And don't tell yourself that you want to be fit, you want to be in great shape, you want to have energy, you want to be happy, you want to be in a place where you as a man are performing at your peak level. Yet your actions fall in line with the opposite destination where you're going to be out of shape, burnt out, tired, fat, unattractive. You're going to go through a divorce. You're going to lose your business. You're going to underperform. And if you manage to maintain your business and marriage, they're going to be nowhere near even 10% of the capacity of what they could have been if you had taken the action and had the discipline to take action on your fitness journey. Okay? Now look, I don't expect you to figure out your fitness journey for yourself, but when you do figure it out, whether that's through a coach, whether that's through some of my content on my page, whatever method you use to actually turn this around, maybe this video is the wake-up call that you've been waiting for, whatever method you use to actually turn this around and take action and finish off the last 6 years of the year strong, and then continue that momentum for the rest of your life, whatever action you take, well, beautiful thing is when you reach that destination, when you're even on the path to that destination, when you even just clean up your diet for a week by implementing some of the strategies covered on this channel, such as organic foods, such as a couple other things. Again, I'm going to cover all this in the channel. Check it out. Well, first and foremost, your energy is going to completely change. The brain fog is going to go away. You're not going to need as much coffee. You can actually check an interview I did with one of my clients the other day. He lost 29 pounds in 6 weeks, and guess what? He only needs 1 cup of coffee a day instead of 3 to 4. Busy professional, works 70 plus hours a week, managing large environmental projects in San Diego. Absolute beast. And you know what? It's his hard work and his commitment that allowed him to achieve that result instead of feeling burnt out, tired, like he wasn't being the man who his wife wanted to be with, like he wasn't being the man who his family needs to support the family and to achieve his career dreams. That might be what you're feeling right now or some variation of that. We're all on different levels of the spectrum. Maybe you'll be in this really, really bad place in a year if you keep going the way you're going. Maybe you're already there and you've been there for years and it just keeps getting worse. But whatever place you're in, you need to have a wake-up call and take a second to just write out what are the consequences of continuing to go the way that I'm going, and am I okay with that? If you're okay with it, keep going the way you're going. But if you're not, which you probably aren't, if you're still watching this video, you need to take action towards your actual goal and zone in on exactly what you want. What do you want? How do you want to feel? How much do you want to weigh? What do you want to look like? How do you want to feel? How do you want the people around you to react to you and respond to you? And then how do we make that dream become a reality? Okay? Now I know that this might have been a vulnerable one and maybe you don't want to share what you've written privately with anybody. You can feel free to send me a message, or you can share this with somebody who you trust, who you know better. Totally up to you. But either way, I'm here to support you. I'm here to give you free content on this channel that will help you. And obviously I have a handful of clients who I work with closely on a deep level. I have a limited capacity for how many people I can take on, obviously, but the people I work with closely, obviously you've seen their interviews, they get amazing results. So again, this is not a pitch for my program. I'd rather that you go through my free content first so you can learn and get some results in advance. But obviously if you just want to chat, or if you've even thought about working with me, what I'll attach down below for you is an opportunity to book a call with me where we can actually customize some of these frameworks to you to ensure that you're able to move forward and at least get a game plan for the end of the year right now, which will then allow you to execute on your own. Or if you need somebody to actually hold you accountable and get you that initial momentum, we can talk about what that looks like and you can decide whether you want to be a part of it or not. But anyways, regardless of what action you decide to take, whether you decide to engage with me further or not, I would encourage you to truly be real with yourself about the consequences of the path that you're on right now. Determine whether you're okay with it. Chances are if you watch this video to this point, you are not okay with it, and then take action in line with the destination that you truly want to be at. That is my call to action for you. Take action, do not settle, finish this year strong, Start 2021 with momentum and never settle for anything less than who you truly want to be. Done.